In the dance studio, a dancer's life is filled with the understanding that we are going to fail or make mistakes constantly throughout class, and we must try the skill or phrase over and over again until we find the right alignment, amount of force, travel with the best efficiency, or solve the choreographic problem in a different way. I am usually disappointed initially, but then I reflect on what my process was and proceed again, using that information to get further with the problem that was posed. Take it, reflect on it, learn from it, build on it. See it as progress. Instead of it being the end of the road, maybe it's the fork in the road that leads you in a different direction than you originally aimed for. As a teacher, I can plan structured activities to help learners avoid those mistakes, or find ways within the activities to use those mistakes or struggles to build my dancers as stronger, more focused, and intuitive movers. Everything happens for a reason. I am by no means perfect or the most intelligent person around. I was blessed with parents, specifically my father, who has an incredible curiosity for learning and such a positive mindset to never give up. Some of my mistakes have shown me more about myself and allowed me to be better than I had planned at whatever task or pathway I attempted.
Like most people, initially, when I make a mistake in anything, I don't feel good about it. So, like in running, that could mean I gave up during a race, or I didn't work hard enough on a workout, or something like that. But I've been attempting to avoid these mistakes, especially in athletics, but mistakes are a part of everyday life, and making something positive out of failures and mistakes is a great way to learn from them and adapt for the future and turn something negative into something positive. So, in order to learn from what I do wrong and fix it for the future, I typically look for a new means of doing something. So, in running cross country and track, if I have a bad race, I realize I should probably change something about my next race so I don't cause the same problem. My performance is never going to get better if I continue to make the same mistakes over and over, instead of adopting a new maybe workout regimen, or maybe eating different foods, or maybe just increasing some mental focus during races to help pinpoint areas that I can improve so that I don't mess up the same way I did in a future race. And that can apply to academics with studying and tests, or however you find to apply it to your life. This process of self-improvement through mistakes can apply to other areas of life, and so I believe it just shows how mistakes and failures and anything that seems negative can become positive, can become a positive improving mechanism. Well, I can teach this self-improvement cycle to others and introduce it to those who think they're failing miserably and cannot possibly make something positive out of their circumstances. I would use my mistakes to show them that they don't have to be it doesn't have to be such a dreaded event to make a mistake, because they're just an inevitable part of life. Then maybe others can become more enthusiastic about growing from mistakes rather than worrying about them so much. I think that through disciplining my failures of the past, I am more positive about these mistakes and failures than I would have been negative in my past years. In fact, I'm more relieved to realize that I'm making a mistake in some area, then I realize I can improve myself and change my ways. Whenever I find out I make a mistake, I have to avoid getting angry and refocus on what I can really do to make myself grow in the long run. I continue to make mistakes all the time like everyone else, but what I would encourage others to do, as I try to do to this day, is to become a better person through examination of failures, and take those as opportunities for growth.